So, hello and welcome to the Fabulous Food Finds tasting experience. You're here because you have one of my tasting boxes, and tonight we are going to open that box together. Thank you very much if you've waited to open your box. Now you can open it and we can look inside, and I will guide you through it. We're going to be joined tonight by a couple of producers. Fiona is already here. So hi, Fiona. I will introduce you properly in a moment. The way it's going to work is I'm going to talk you through, I'll give you a quick, because there's a few newbies, I'll tell you how we're going to taste, and then I'll talk through each of the products. You've got two people joining us here live, and then I've got a couple of little videos of some of the makers so you can kind of see their faces and kind of get a bit of their energy for their products as well. So when we're tasting, we are going to use all of our senses. So we're going to look at the product. Sometimes when I'm judging, we're just blind tasting and we're looking just at the kind of the actual product and tasting, but we obviously have our packaging here as well, so we can have a look at that and see how we feel about that. We're going to look at the product. We're going to look at the kind of whether we think it's glossy, is it dull, is it nice, is it like looking, is it appetizing. We're going to smell as well, because our nose plays a huge part in the tasting process. And I read a thing the other day that's like 10,000 flavor profiles are picked up by the nose, and then our our tongue only actually picks up about five of the basic flavors. So just goes to show what our nose can do and how that plays a part. Hi, Michael. This is another one of our guests who I will introduce you to in a little while. So when we're tasting, again, we're using our nose to smell, and then we'll look at those five basic senses, which are salty, bitter, sweet, sour, and then umami, which sounds a bit poncy, but it's basically that savory flavor that you get in kind of Marmite, truffles, parmesan, and that kind of thing. So we're going to be looking at all of those. If you want to ask any questions while we're going along, please just either just say it, or I think you can put up your hand or put it in the chat box, but I might not notice, so probably better just to wave at me because I can see you all. So we are going to run through the products. So if you haven't opened your box, have a little look inside. We are going to start with this gorgeous product from Fiona, who's here on the call, and this is Sunbird Kitchen. And this is a grain-free granola that I picked because we haven't included a granola in here yet, unless anyone remembers, and I don't. And I went for grain-free. I was really torn as to what to include for you. And I know grain-free sounds a bit weird in terms of a granola because it's about grains, but I love this one so much that I couldn't resist putting this one in. So Fiona, as people are getting this out of their boxes and have to open up, do you want to tell us a bit about you and why you started making granola? And yeah,
sure. Hello everybody. Hi, so I'm Fiona. So my business is called Sunbird Kitchen. It's been going about 2.5 years now. So like you guys, I'm a foodie as well. I've worked in food my whole life, so doing a variety of different things, mostly like product development and also teaching. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, we went to live in America for a little bit, and then we came back just before the pandemic. But when we were in America, I worked for a lady who had a granola business, which was amazing. I learned lots. And when we came back, it was October 2019, I think it was. And I got a job, and then we got obviously COVID, and I lost my job. So I'd always wanted to have my own business, but it was never the right time. So then it was the right time. So I spent quite a lot of time doing all my research. I decided to do granola, a little bit of background, because I've got it's for health reasons really. I wanted to find a granola that used organic and gluten-free oats, which is quite hard to do. You can quite often you can get oats that are organic or gluten-free, but to get them both is quite difficult. And I also wanted it to be refined sugar-free, so I started making my own, and then because of the pandemic I decided so I pontificated for a long time, did a lot.
We're losing you a little bit, Fiona.
It was for the oh, okay, is that better?
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but yeah, you're back.
Okay,
So.
I've got the Wi-Fi on, but I'm on my phone. My laptop doesn't seem to want to play, but anyway, so I came up with 4 flavors using organic gluten-free oats, so that's my thing, plus no refined sugar. So I either use raw honey, which is not in the one that you've got, it's in another one, which was this one, which is the cashew and almond. So the honey comes straight from the beekeeper, which is my mother-in-law, which is quite handy, or organic coconut sugar or maple syrup, or a combination. And I keep the sugars quite low. All the sugars are below 15%. And they're very nutty and seedy and much lower in the oats, so they're designed to like sprinkle over yogurt, cereals, or even snack on. I started with those, and then by accident I got delivered the wrong oats, so I got delivered porridge oats, and I used jumbo oats in my granola. So I had this 20-kilo sack of oats they said keep. So I then kind of developed overnight oat mixes. So basically I now make granolas, overnight oat mixes, and granola bars. The granola that you've got is actually my favorite one as well, so it's a good choice, Katie. Yes, it's so instead of oats, it's got a base of coconut. And you might ask, why have I done a grain-free granola? It's just that not everybody wants to eat oats, and not all the time. Or they can't.
I also found out when I was judging the other day, and I was next to this woman that did new product development for Jordan's and Dorset cereals, and she said that grain-free is a trend.
Oh, well, there we go.
So totally on trend, and they're kind of keeping their eye on it. So
that's by accident, not intentional. So instead of the oats, it's got a base of coconut, and I always say I sell at markets and other places, and I always ask people if they like coconut. But in fact, even though it's my favorite one, I'm not a big fan of coconut. But something happens when you roast the coconut. They're kind of coconut flakes, quite chunky ones, when you roast them, and with the maple syrup, and it gives a lovely, in my opinion anyway, a lovely kind of taste. And then it's also got almonds. It's got flaked almonds, whole almonds, which I chop up a little bit, walnuts, pecans, pumpkin seeds, a little bit of salt and oil, and that's it really. It's a very simple recipe. So like I said, you can use it like with yogurt and fruit. You could put it over other cereal, or you can snack on it. It's actually quite nice in the summer in the evening with a nice glass of something cold, just like a bit like a trail mix or a Bombay mix or something like that, but without the spices, obviously. So so that's the granola that you've got. So let me know what you think.
I love the crunch and the flavors, and what do we think, guys? Anyone?
It's amazing. This is really, it's really delicious. That's really delightful. Really nice.
Really nice.
Cool. The one that I nearly included, I think, was the cashew and almond, but then you do a cherry and chocolate one as well.
So this one is the most popular one. The cashew and almond, that's the one with the honey, and it's got jumbo cashews, almonds, and it's got lots of seeds, flax, sesame, pumpkin, sunflower, and also some coconut flakes. So that's the most popular. The one that you mentioned with the sour cherry, that's a chocolate hazelnut and sour cherry, so that's a bit of a Marmite one. Like, some people will not want to touch it because they don't want chocolate with granola, and then some people love it and other people aren't so keen because it's quite a busy recipe. So it's one of those ones that, like, it's not, you won't go, oh yeah, that's okay. You'll go, oh, that's nice, or oh no, that's not for me. It's one of those. So I'm glad you didn't choose that one, to be honest.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, I also do a pecan and maple. That's this one. It's quite a nice one. It's got cinnamon. So it's, if you like cinnamon, it's good. It's also got a little bit of orange and vanilla, and as well as oats, it's got buckwheat and hemp. And I do that. You've got the 150, the medium bags. I also do large bags as well, double the size, and also bulk bags. So yeah, and if you're interested, then have a look at my website. You can subscribe, get a welcome discount. I usually put samples in of other flavors as well. So if there's anything specific you want to try, just let me know and I'll pop a sample in for you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's great to meet you and put a face to the
yeah. And it's just me. It's just my business. I don't have a huge team of people. You know, it's kind of my now or never time, because I've always wanted to do it, but like I said, it's never been the right time. So my kids are grown up now, so if I don't do it now, I never will.
Oh, amazing. Well, you seem to be doing it really well, so keep going.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
You can stick around if you like, or head off.
Okay.
Granola space.
Can I ask a very quick question, Fiona?
Yeah, of course. Go for
It
it.
says on the packaging, once you've opened it, you should move it to an airtight container. Will it not survive in this then?
So, do you know, it's funny, I was just going to say that. So if you want to, you can just reseal it. Just make sure that you, when you do reseal it, you reseal it properly and you don't miss a bit.
Okay.
Or better still, transfer it into a Tupperware or a glass jar, or even like a poly bag in the bag. It's just basically, as soon as the air gets into any of the granola, and especially if the kitchen, if perhaps it's next to the kettle or something like that, where there's some dampness, obviously the ingredients will take on the moisture, and then all of the nice crispness that, you know, I've tried to give you will disappear. So just keep it airtight.
Fair enough. And just one other bit of feedback. Now, it might sound negative to start with, but I promise you it's not. It says shake the bag before opening. I tried to shake it, but it's stuffed full, so nothing moved. Okay. So obviously it's brilliant that we get so much in there, but yeah, it doesn't really do anything.
No worries.
So I don't know what you can do with that feedback, but thanks for so much.
Thank you. Thanks. To be honest, it's probably, I did all the labels myself, and that's probably a copy and paste more relevant to the other granolas, where everything kind of, you'd think everything would sink to the bottom, but it doesn't. It all goes to the top. So when you open the bag, you get all the nice, you know, big nuts, and then the further down you go, if you haven't shaken it, you've just got the nuts and the oats and the seeds left. So yeah, thank you. I'll probably
it's all positive from us, really. But
yeah, no,
you know, thanks.
Yeah, feedback is good. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thanks, Fiona. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, could I ask a quick question, please?
Yeah, go.
It says on the back here that it does contain gluten-free oats.
Yeah, so yeah, that's again. So on the back it says it's does it say that? I can't actually see. Are you reading the bit in green or Yeah, so that's basically it's a little piece of blurb I've put on all the packaging. It's packed with nuts, seeds, I should probably take it off that one. That's a good bit of feedback, thank you, because there's no oats in it, obviously.
Yeah, okay. Not that in use. I mean, it's very tasty. So
yeah, no, it's a copy and paste.
How that works.
It's a copy and paste that I need to edit. Thank you. I'll change it.
Oh, good. Well, great place to get feedback.
Definitely. Yeah, I did all the labels and stuff myself. So, and I'm not a graphic designer, but yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Love it. Thank you so much, Fiona. And
thank you.
Yeah, love it. Are you sticking around, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'll stick around for a little bit, and then I've got to go out. So
great, no worries. So I hope you love that one. I really love the level of sweetness. I love the little bit of salt, and I really love the crunch. So I had to open a second packet because I've eaten all the first. So I'm eating my supply here. Cool. I think that's a good testament to that granola. Cool. So we were going to move on. So my number 2 was another product, but we're going to go on to number 3, which is the Cureights Charcuterie, because Michael, I don't want you to hang around too long. You might need to have some water and have a little refresher. Hi, Ruth. Thank you for joining. I know you were running late. I've been rushing around too. So, Michael, I first met, was it 2016,
16.
was it? When you entered the bursary with Price of Spices, which was your kind of pickles and sauces business, and which was amazing. And you won one of our bursary awards, didn't you? So I've been hot on your tail ever since you launched your charcuterie business. And
Bear with me 1 second. My wife's currently cooking some lamb kebabs, and my smoke detector is going off just at this very moment. Give me 20 seconds.
Do you want a few minutes? We can go on to another product. Or you? I can't actually hear it. Can you? I can't hear it. Michael, we can't hear it, so don't worry. Are you just checking on her?
All good. Battery down.
That's why we can't hear it. It's gone.
Comedy timing.
Yeah. Maybe we should check
I
on
never
you.
do Zoom calls, but given the fact that literally you just said, right, and we're over to Michael, and it started going up, comedy timing, you couldn't write that, I tell you.
Cool. So yes, so you are an award-winning charcuterie maker. I absolutely love the fact that in 2021 you were charcuterie producer product of the year, and I've been, there you go, there's your golden fork, well done.
There we go.
And I've been wanting to taste this ever since. So basically, guys, you're only tasting this really because I'm being selfish and really wanted to try this product. So but I hope you'll agree that it's going to be amazing. So Michael, do you want to tell us about the biz and what we're going to taste, please?
Yeah, certainly. So I'll give you a quick rundown. So basically, I think Fiona mentioned the pandemic and so forth. I think quite a lot of producers, it's been really quite interesting, to be fair, because having run Price of Spices for 10 years, which, as Katie's just mentioned, the fact that that's where we kind of met. So obviously I sent a video pitching in 2016, was successful, got a pitch at the BBC Good Food Show, absolutely fantastic. So the pandemic came around, we had our first commercial kitchen in 2019, we had a chilli farm in Stratford-upon-Avon, and we were basically making anything from chutneys, pickles, this, that and the other, anything that's got a little bit of chilli in it. Fast forward to the pandemic strike, and we'd literally just moved into a huge commercial kitchen because the one that we had wasn't big enough. And within a couple of months, everybody was in lockdown. So literally, I was like, what am I going to do? So we set up a Indian takeaway on the Saturday night, delivered cold, no van, happy days. And I had all the week to play about. So I'm like, do you know what? I've always wanted to start doing a little bit of salami, doing some cured meats, did some smoked salmon. So when it came round to entering the Great Taste Awards for 2021, as producers, basically, or manufacturers, supermarkets, any own brands, they can send things into the Guild of Fine Food and enter at the end of January, start of February. So there's like members fortnight, and people can enter the products into that. Products go off in May, and then basically you find out in the start of August whether you've kind of won anything or not. So anyway, fast forward through to 2021 of August, we got a phone call to say, just to let you know, you basically won a 3-star Great Taste Awards, top secret, we're going to need more samples, but we'll be back in touch. So anyway, the Golden Fork that you just saw was a global kind of charcuterie award through the Great Taste Awards. So not only did we achieve the 3-star, but to actually receive that accolade as a business that doesn't do charcuterie at that time was quite, well, wow. So rather than trying to make it look like a sorry.
It's really, really wow. It's really, really good.
So yeah, rather than trying to make it look like a jack of all trades and putting it all under the Price of Spices brand, I decided that, right, we're going to make some more product. We're going to do a little bit more product development. We're going to basically have the Cureights website. So you might ask the question, why is it called Cureights or whatever, however you want to pronounce it? Well, it is Cureights, and there is logic to it. So basically, we make cured products, and as you can see on the front here, we've basically got a picture of our little piggy. So you've got 7 main primal cuts, and the 8th one is basically the salami. So a little bit like nobody actually heard of Brewdog before they were about, or actually understood what Brewdog was. The only way to get a short name that's got a .co.uk or a .com and get all your social media handles that all match up these days, create your own word. So hopefully in the next couple of years, people will actually understand what Cureights is, and it will just become like another Brewdog. If we get that big, I'll be very happy. But hey ho, let's keep it small for the time being. So without further ado, I'm going to rip into my one. So I did remember to bring one home today, because you know what, I don't eat as many of my products as often as enough. I'd like to when I'm slicing stuff, but yeah, the environmental health would shoot me down. So I'm always very good. So,
I'm just going to note that this is an ambient product, isn't it? So don't worry, it wasn't meant to go in the fridge or anything. It's
no,
fine.
exactly. So I'll give you a little bit of information on that, actually. So a lot of people don't realise, and when I say this, the penny drops. So next time you go into the likes of Sainsbury's, Asda, Morrison's, any of the supermarkets, you'll see the charcuterie aisle with all the kind of like the hams, and then you'll get your chorizos, and then all the sliced packed meat that look like this. You'll also see a basket at the end that's not in the fridge. So it's in the fridge aisle, but it's in a big tall basket, whether it's a wooden one. But you will see in there some like fouettes, chorizo, saucisson secs. That's the charcuterie that's been made properly. All of the items in the fridge have actually been rushed, made quick, and actually haven't lost enough moisture to be an ambient product. So all the products that I make, such as these, have actually lost more than 30% of their moisture. So they're still a very moist product. They're not dry by any means, but because they've lost that amount, that does then become a shelf-stable product that doesn't have to go in the fridge. So what I recommend is, because ambient stops at about 24, 25 degrees C, if we have the weather that we had at weekend, which was nice whilst it lasted, make sure it's in the fridge. But before you want to eat it, make sure it's out of the fridge for about half an hour to an hour, just to let the fats come up to the right temperature, and then it will sit nicely on the palate. So absolutely fantastic with a glass of wine, but you know what? It's just great by itself. So without further ado, they do stick together a bit on the board, but the other one thing I will say about the packaging is it's a very basic piece of packaging. Now, on the website, you'll see what the prices are. It's because we use very, very good Warwickshire-based pork that's very expensive. I'd rather not have all this fancy packaging that's got gold embellishment on there. I want you guys to know what you're paying for is what's on this board, not fancy packaging that's going to cost an extra £1 a portion. You get what you pay for. So what we're going to do is we're going to taste. Now, with the Coppa, which is what this is a muscle on the pig that basically runs from the neck, and we either cut it, if it's a small pig, at the 7th rib, or if it's a big pig, we'll cut it at the 5th rib. We basically want a Coppa muscle to be no real bigger than kind of about 2.6, 2.7 kilos. Otherwise, it takes too long to dry. Now, this one here, I can see, because crikey, I've made hundreds of them now. Literally, the diameter of this piece of meat, that will have started out, and it would have been probably about 2.1, 2.2 kilos. Now, the Coppa is actually a magic ratio. It's pretty much 70% meat and 30% fat. Now, if you ever look at your favourite salamis, what you'll see is that a salami needs to be a minimum of 25% fat up to about 35. So that's 70-30 is that magic number. So this particular Coppa, and probably why it won the Charcuterie Product of the Year, is the fact we've combined something with... So Coppa is basically from the north part of Italy, and the spicy stuff's normally from the south. So to bring the two together was kind of a bit of a fusion idea. Now, what you will see, this piece normally would have gone in the fridge. This was rushed because I ran out. Yours hopefully will be the same colour throughout. Now, if you can see that mine here is a little bit darker on the outside, that would normally then be vacuum packed and put back into the fridge once it's finished drying, just to let those moistures equalise out a little bit. If yours does look like that, it's still going to taste just as good. It's just the texture will be a little bit firmer on the outside. So it's basically got a lovely stretch to it. If you smell it, you will actually smell that porkiness. You'll be able to smell a little bit of garlic, and you should get the nice chipotle coming through even before you taste it. So I generally like to shred it up a little bit, go in, and just leave it sat on the tongue until let those fats just come up to the right temperature. Shouldn't be too salty. It will be salty because obviously it's a cured product, but just to smell that, you'll even be able to smell a little bit of farmyard. It's with certain Coppas, you can act because it's a whole muscle product, especially some of the Italian ones. Not mine, sadly, because obviously our pigs are not basically given all the acorns or the chestnuts like they get in Italy and Spain, but you will still be able to smell a little bit of what the pig's diet has been. And that's the really good thing with good charcuterie. So the stuff that you buy that's cheap, you will not get that aroma with, I can guarantee. You can give it a go, but you certainly won't. But yeah, that is pretty much my Chipotle Coppa. We do a lot of other different products now. So given the couple of years since we got the golden fork, we basically do guanciale, which is the pig jowl. So if you're ever making spaghetti carbonara, this is the real deal. That's what you want. This one has basically been matured for 9 months. It's generally a fatty product. If you see some that's generally just a little bit of meat and a lot of fat, that is proper guanciale, because as they would say in Italy, tutto en suo grasso, which basically means it's all about the flavour of the fat. Something else that we do is called middle andua. So this is my rendition of andua. So with my 10 years of chili knowledge and now my several years of meat knowledge, we put the two together. And it's called middle andua because I think they're about to DOP or PGI the name status of andua from Spillinger and Calabria. So with that, we've basically just going to call it our own thing. But given the fact that it's still got andua in there, we've got a local restaurant that took that on board called Magic Wingdom and took my last 20 kilos of andua, and they actually went on to win the judges and the public feedback at Wingfest in Birmingham. And the majority of the ingredient is my andua. So nice to help other businesses kind of achieve good accolades as well.
Amazing.
So we do other things as well. So we do.
Stop you there.
Go-
Like, just
go on.
if you don't know what andouja is, it's spelt Enduja, like with a J at the end, isn't it? And
Yep.
some of the Italians fondly call it Naduja, don't they? Just as a funny way of saying it. But yeah, it's andouja.
Yeah, everybody's got a different way of pronouncing it, but yeah, you come to realise what everybody's kind of on about at the end of it. But it's, to be honest, I was watching Stanley Tucci's Searching for Italy in season 2. There's an episode where they're in basically the 23rd state of Italy, and that's actually London, because there's so many Italians actually based in London. And he's in, I forget the name of the restaurant, but there's a Michelin star chef called Francesco Mazzai, absolutely amazing guy. He actually introduced London and the UK to andua in the start of the 90s. And they were basically discussing, there was no ratios, about mixing some of this with some honey and some lemon juice to really open up the flavour profile and putting it in a pan. So that's kind of why we've got the QR code on the front, and people that have tried it say it really works. So basically you can just warm it up and then drizzle it on your pizza before you finish making a pizza, or making something like a cherry calabrese. And it's just absolute game changer. So as nice as this already is, it just elevates it even more. So there's just different ways to use charcuterie. So what else we got? We've got a gin flavoured Coppa. So we've got a distillery just up the road from us in Stratford-upon-Avon called Shakespeare Distillery. Double checking myself. Yeah, that is right. So we basically take their waste botanicals from their full batch of gin, and we basically add a bit of sugar and a couple of other magic ingredients, and then we basically make a similar Coppa to what you've got there, but it just tastes like a beautiful London dry gin. So if you like gin, the gin one's a really good one to go with. What else we got? We've got salamis. We've got about a dozen products, but we are generally trying to butcher some pigs head to toe, and then we also work with small primals as well, because it is still just myself.
Brilliant. I love it. I love everything you're doing, and I love this. I love the warmth of it, because it doesn't, you've got chili in there, but it kind of just complements it, doesn't it, rather than overpowering.
Yeah, for me, I mean, having been in the chili game for 10 years, one thing I've certainly learned is the fact that as much as you've got that male bravado from the 90s of the guy coming around going, "What's your hottest sauce, mate?" I mean, you hear it every show, but most people have moved on from that, and he's kind of got a wife and kids. So if you've got a multi-buy deal of 4 products, the spicy one, couple for the family and something mild for the kids, you've just made quite a few quid because you've sold your 4. But I learned that very fast, and it's all about the flavour profile of the chili. It's about layering the flavour. If you can't layer the flavour, you might as well just put it on a pan, blitz it all up, and not know what you're doing. But sadly, there's a few of them out there.
I know you're helping a few out as well, aren't you? With some making a few products for some other people as well, which is cool.
Yeah, I get people coming my way and asking to develop a product or then develop it and make it, each time. So yeah, I'm working with a few people, and yeah, it's nice to gain that respect because, well, you might not know, but 10 years ago I was actually still a software programmer for Aston Martin. So I left that job 8 years ago. Very different.
Yeah, I can imagine. I was just going to say thanks, Fiona. She's just gone. Brilliant. Has anyone got any questions for Michael while he's here?
I have a question, but it's not related to the Coppa. The Tuscan, I'm on your website, which I quite like, and there's a lot of really good stuff on there. The Tuscan salami and the sausage on sack, would you not sell them as whole pieces? Because I noticed that some of them you do, but others you only have.
So we did originally with the Granola and the Tuscan sell them as whole pieces. The reason why I don't do that with those two now is it's basically of a certain size. It becomes a point where most customers don't want to spend £15 to £20 on one salami, and we've basically seen better sales of it flat packed. We do, however, do the whole ones when it comes to the Stratford sausage on, the pepperoni, and the chorizo. We've basically got a method whereby, because the casing sizing isn't too thick, we can do that in kind of a standard 34mm breakfast link kind of casing, and then we can still put enough. When it doesn't look enough in a packet, it's when people start going, that's a lot of money for not a lot, even though it is. So when we can put a comparison of a whole sausage at the same price as this, and the sausage is twice the size, it's literally because the packaging costs quite a bit, and the time to actually put this in the packaging. So yes, some of the products there are, but some of the ones they're not. I do want to change that and bring that back in the near future. I'm just trying to work out a couple of methods in order to do so, though.
Cool. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Cool. And if anyone's gonna, I know quite a few of you will be at the BBC Good Food Show this winter. You're going to be there with your charcuterie, aren't you? So
Certainly are, yeah. So hopefully we'll launch some Granola on Saturday, and it's sold out on Saturday. So yeah, we've got to wait for the next batch.
well,
my son's very disappointed because he's the chief product tester and he didn't get to taste any.
Nice. That's beef, right?
Say that again, sorry.
That's beef, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the only. So apart from the Genoa salami, that is the only beef product. Everything else is pork.
Cool. Well, hopefully we'll get to try some at the show. I'm going to include it in one of the mystery tastings, aren't I? Or one of the tastings. I shouldn't let that slip. Cool. Anyway, I will let you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
That was do you know what? I was meant to put this in a while ago, wasn't I? But I'm really glad that now we've got more subscribers and can share it with more people. So
good things come to those that wait. So yes, thank you, and I hope you all go on to enjoy the rest of your pack. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Michael. Take care.
You too. Thank you.
Stick around if you want, but I'm sure you got other things to do.
I don't know. My kebabs might be burnt.
Yes, we need your dinner. Thanks ever so much. Take care.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Cool. So, yeah, I've loved that. I'm really excited that I could share that with you because I think that his charcuterie is amazing. So, Lisa, you've just joined. We're on charcuterie, and we've also tried the granola. So we're only two in, so you haven't missed too much. We'll go a bit faster through them now that we aren't joined by the producers, because you'll just have me kind of like telling you what's what. So we're going to go back to the second one that I had on the list, which some of you have tried before because I've included this company before, but this is the Bold Bean Co. And these are the Queen butter beans. And my dad hates butter beans. And he's like, what are you doing giving them butter beans? They're gross, they're cheap things and everything. They're like, really doesn't like butter beans. I think that they're amazing, and I know Liz loves this company as well. And when we tried the chickpeas in another box, but I think that they are just like heads and shoulders above any other, the beans that you'd kind of get in a tin. these ones won 2 stars in the Great Taste Awards. I'm not completely obsessed with Great Taste Awards, but you do know that they've been tested by experts and by lots of different people. So anything sort of like 2-star or 3-star, I always kind of like pricks my ears up. So you can try these right now, straight from the jar. They are absolutely delicious straight from the jar, but also this company has amazing recipes on their website, and I had a little look earlier. There's like one with putting it into like a cauliflower cheese to just bulk it out and make it, because they're so protein rich. You can replace meat with them. What have I done with them? I've baked them so that you can do crispy ones with like spices and things like that. There's a little tip on their website as well, that if you can't open it, you've got something, Ruth, well done. Give it a tap, give it a few taps, probably on something hard. Well, actually getting the jar probably like on a hard surface, and that can get it open. I'm not going to open these, but the actual bean itself, so they are heirloom variety beans. So heirloom, basically, I guess in the sense of the word, passed down from like family to family, like an heirloom is like they're ancient varieties, and they're not used by lots and lots of bean companies because they're probably quite hard to grow. They're not the most efficient beans, but they have got loads of flavour. Managing, yay! And they are not ultra like heat processed. So the ones that you get in cans are cooked in the cans at like extremely high temperatures in kind of the juice they're in. So they're kind of, that zaps quite a lot of flavour. So these are just cooked like in their own kind of like what they call broth, just a little bit of salt, and they just kind of, I just think that they've got so much flavour for just a bean, basically. They pick the country where they're grown, because it's like the best climate to grow them in. So it's kind of like single variety, single origin as well, because the origin that they've chosen is the best place to grow them. They've also recently launched like a British one, so so these aren't British beans. I think these ones are Spanish. But I just think they're like super tasty. And if you like these, then just any of their beans you should try. They launched a black bean as well, like a black bean one, which I thought was really good. They're just like really creamy, loads of flavour. Yeah, just really like these ones. What do we think? Anyone tried them? No.
Katie, it's a bit adventurous for us. What would you use? What do you use them for?
Okay, so like check out their recipes, but like as I said, kind of like putting them with cauliflower, like a cauliflower cheese. Put them into any stews just to kind of add, like a chorizo bean and kind of like veggie stew with like tomatoes. What did I do? I just literally did like put them, I think I used the garlic ghee, and then like put some herbs with them as just like a lunchtime kind of thing. Liz, what do you do with them? Because I know you cook with them quite regularly, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to remember why I have the butter beans less, because my kids are less keen on these, even though I think they're amazing. But I think the ones I've done, the recipes that have worked the best with the butter beans have been like I do like them. I cook them with some garlic and kale, and then or spring greens. Actually, spring greens are better. As like and some tomato, and then have sausages with it. So it's like a sausage butter bean stew. That's really nice. And really filling. And then I've also done like more summery things, like sort of have them more as like a kind of salad. So kind of maybe with a little bit of lemon and those kind of flavors. I could probably dig out a recipe and put it on Facebook, but I think, yeah, I've definitely done some nice summer sort of recipes with them. But I'm totally obsessed with this company. I eat all of their beans, and I'm it's probably now's the time to admit that I'm a vegetarian, so I did not try the charcuterie. I'm sure.
Sorry.
Okay, I have 2 meat eaters in the house. Very excited they finally get something out of this box.
We were going to say send it to us, Liz.
No, sorry.
Thanks for the tips on the beans.
Well, the thing is as well is like the chickpeas are amazing, and if you've ever had tinned chickpeas, they're just like they aren't really anything. They're just like a vehicle for flavour. Whereas when you get these, you realise it's like they actually have their own taste and texture, which is amazing. And I always think like when I used to be a meat eater, like I wouldn't buy the cheapest steak. Like you'd buy the nicest steak you could afford, right? And it's kind of the same thing with these beans. Like they just it makes a real difference to get like quality beans, I think. Anyway, I'm obviously a bean advocate. I'll stop talking now.
I love it. It's really useful because we are quite big meat eaters, but I've loved trying them. They say just put them with like pesto as well. So if you've got, however you'd use like pasta with like a sauce, you could like replace the beans. Obviously you've got protein there. There's loads of health benefits as well. Like the website's really, really good. So check it out. There's like loads of recipes. I'll put some in the Facebook group as well. Hey Pim, thanks for raising your hand.
Yeah, do you keep them in their juices when you cook with them, or
Yeah, keep the juice. Yeah, really, really good. Like and when you're eating it, like the juice has got so much flavour.
I hated butter beans and things when I was a kid, but I'm loving those.
Yeah, I think that's what my dad was like. Ugh, butter beans, but they're so tasty. Like, well, hopefully you find them really, really tasty.
Yeah, I don't have to be dishonest to get into the jar.
I'm sorry, Ruth. What
you got into the jar yet?
No. But I've added them onto next week's menu plan. So Liz, you better be right about this recipe.
There's some with like putting them with chorizo and all sorts of things, and their Instagram account's amazing. Like they
good as like a mashed potato alternative as well, like with like some garlic and stuff. Like butterbean mash is nice as well.
Yeah, and
if you're struggling to get into the jars, I will say they do survive a good whack on the countertop, because that is how I get into them. You can be quite brutal and the jar doesn't break.
My granola was used to run jar tops underneath the hot water tap, because it expands the metal lid slightly.
There we go. Yeah, I think I did the same with like the Big Bang. But yeah, look, the recipe that I like stood out to me was putting them into a cauliflower cheese with like the herbs and like a gratin on top, just to make it a bit more substantial. But I'll share some of the recipes I find as well in the group. So yeah, some butter beans to experiment with. And then we've done the Coppa, haven't we? So have a little refresher, have a little bit of water just to refresh your mouth, and then we're gonna, I'm not sure why I decided we'd do the chocolate now, but let's go for it anyway. So I've given you 3 bars of chocolate. And these are from Cocoa Chocolatier. Now, I'm sorry that they're so tiny, but they're £1.50 each, so it's not cheap chocolate. And I wanted to use this opportunity to kind of introduce you to as many of their flavours as we can. I hope you agree they look really beautiful. So they do lots of collaborations with artists to create these gorgeous kind of packs. Yeah, they're based in Edinburgh, and basically the chocolate they're kind of, they're not classed as a bean to bar chocolatier. They buy couverture, which is like the little kind of like beads of chocolate, and they get those from Colombia. And the reason they do that is because they want more of the kind of like wealth creation and employment creation to happen actually in the country where they're grown. So they let Colombia do more of the chocolate making process, so that for all those reasons. So they go out there and they go and visit the farms, and they go visit those kind of like processing places. So they go out there and make sure everything's great, and then they bring the couverture beads back, and then they use those to create all sorts of different chocolates. So that'll be just like a kind of standard dark chocolate. So what we've got here is the there's an Isle of Skye sea salt dark chocolate. So the Isle of Skye sea salt company are this gorgeous kind of well, they're a salt maker, but the salt's all kind of organic. It's sea salt from obviously the Isle of Skye, and then everything's like sun dried, so it's like a completely natural process. They've got all these like polytunnel type things to kind of dry the salt, and it's actually just a really lovely salt. The crystals are lovely, so I was really love to see that. I think we should start with let's start with the dark, because there's less has been done with this one. So anything, whenever I need to know about chocolate, I'll use Jennifer Earle. She is like my go-to chocolate queen. She's actually coming up to Chroma this weekend, so I've been giving her lots of tips on places to go in North Norfolk. But she's my go-to in terms of like chocolate tasting. She judges, she does chocolate tours and things like that. So she's created this chocolate wheel. I'll send it into the group, so if you save some, you can use the chocolate wheel to kind of refer to like tasting notes and things like that. So we'll start with this the dark. So if we look at the bar, it's a little bit dull on here. I think we're normally looking for quite a glossy chocolate. It's probably because of the kind of like the sending in the heat and things like that can affect. It looks like it might have melted a tiny bit. So we're looking for a nice snap, which I got there. And if you have a taste of this one, what you do, put it into your mouth and let it melt for a little while onto your tongue. Now, the best thing to have between chocolate is a bit of warm water. But I'm not going to make them drink warm water. So this one, they suggest a sweet, comforting chocolate flavour enhanced by luxurious sea salt. So it's not like a bitter chocolate. And I think that sea salt really like lifts it. I don't know if you've had salt with chocolate before, but yeah.
I was expecting it to be saltier, but
I think it depends where you get the salt, because you can see, if you have a look on the top, you can see a few sort of salt crystals and things. But I think it's more to kind of complement it rather than kind of in your face overpower it. I quite like salt, so I probably could take a bit more salt. These guys do some really amazing flavors. They do like a haggis spiced one as well. So yeah, starting with that dark bar. What was I going to say? So when we're tasting chocolate, the kind of things that we're looking out for, it might be fruity, might be floral, might have like roasted flavors. That one's quite sort of, I don't know, you're getting that kind of like chocolatey or almost coffee kind of flavor. And then dairy notes, so you kind of got a milkiness, a creaminess to that one, and maybe a little bit fruity at the beginning. So we can save that one for later, and then we will go to the Colombian milk. So if you just refresh your palate as well between those. You can tell why, because of the fat content. If you have the warm water or a hot drink, it'll kind of melt away more of the fat to kind of get rid of it. So if you have got a hot drink to hand, try that one. So if we go for the pink one next, which is the Colombian milk 40%, you'll see how that kind of Colombian chocolate works with a bit more milk to it. I read earlier that you shouldn't judge a chocolate by its percentage. It's almost like judging like a wine by its volume of, you know, like how alcoholic it is, the percentage it is. So that isn't really a mark of quality, but it's just kind of showing you like how the percentage of cocoa. So a milk chocolate wouldn't normally have that much cocoa in it, so it should have a really good chocolatey flavour. I'm smelling it if you want to as well. I quite like the design of these little bars with the lines on it as well. Quite nice to divide up. So this one, smooth and well balanced with milky tones of notes of caramel. Enough caramel. That's not like an added flavour or anything. Let that melt on your tongue and enjoy that. Nice, inoffensive, nice milk chocolate.
It's not over sweet either.
Yeah. What kind of sugar are they using though? Just sugar. Milk butter. Yeah, that's the milk. And then the salted caramel one has got obviously a salted caramel flavour. That's got the Isle of Skye sea salt in there as well. Again, that's kind of blended in. That's blended into the chocolate, so it's not like an actual caramel inside it. Oh, I'm going to open that then. I ripped it open, so I may as well post it with you. And you can see on that one as well. You can see a few little. You can see where the salt kind of crystals have. Don't know if they've gathered moisture, but you can see where they are. So that one's the salted caramel. That one's saltier than the salted dark.
That's my favourite one.
Me too. Yeah, that's really nice.
We like the dark one best.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did you get enough salt?
Yeah, I think it's nice that there's something different than just dark chocolate, because usually dark chocolate gets left just as the chocolate.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have something a little bit different. We are a bit flavourful for dark chocolate anyway, but just to have that little bit of a difference to it's a nice change.
I don't actually normally like dark chocolate, but that was really nice.
Good. Yeah, it's not too kind of, some of them can be quite bitter, can't they? And a bit sort of not so smooth on the palate. I like this one. So as I said, they're based in Edinburgh. Like they support the arts with the collaborations. I mean, I like the art. I think they'd be really nice as gifts. And they look really pretty. I mean, in terms of, you know, would I buy it because of the art? Probably not, but I think it's a nice kind of depends what kind of person you are, but I think they do make like nice gifts, and obviously like part of a hamper. I thought they'd be really pretty as well. But they have, as I said, they do like a haggis spice flavoured one. They've got a hot cross bun flavour, a passion fruit, and what was the other one I like the sound of? Earl Grey, rose and black pepper, and then a cold brew coffee one as well. But I wanted to just kind of compare the three. They have quite a few other ones, but just noticing those subtle differences between the three. Cool. So Cocoa Chocolatier. Enjoy those. Right. So let's move on.
We can order online with them, can we?
Pardon?
We can order online with them, I guess.
Yeah. So I'll I've set up the webpage and it'll have all the links. So it's basically got that with each of the company names kind of linked through to the website. So that might be an easier thing to refer to. But yeah, they sell, definitely sell online. I think everyone should be selling direct online. Cool. So I'm going to refresh your palate with a non-alcoholic, the first of the two cans that you've got in there. So if you don't want to, obviously you've only got one, so if you don't want to open it now, I obviously don't mind. I can't legally send you alcohol, so this is a really nice way of enjoying something with you that is quite a nice, sophisticated drink. Now, I can't find these online. I said everything's available, but these guys, Anon, do a really nice range of non-alcoholic drinks, and this is their ready-to-drink one. I think they just had for the summer. But if you like it, they do like bottles of the almost like a, like a non-alcoholic spirit. So as you would buy Pimm's, it's kind of like that. And then you dilute it like with lemonade or soda. So this is basically their version of Pimm's. So English Garden. You've got flavours of strawberry, mint, cucumber and oranges in there. I really like it. The kids really liked it as well. They like the idea of being able to have like a grown-up's drink. So that is a really nice. I don't know what you think of that. Then in sort of like tasting competitions, they said people like this. Oh, is it fizzed up? Like this over Pimm's, the flavour of it. I don't know how. I mean, I don't drink a huge amount of alcohol anyway, but it's really nice to have kind of quite a sophisticated drink. Whenever
Perfect for your picnic when you're driving home.
Yeah, exactly. And if you've got it in the spirit version, obviously you can make a really big jug of it as well. An interesting thing to note, like, I don't know if anyone is buying sort of like these non-alcoholic spirits, but they're not cheap. And I think a lot of people, and myself included, is, well, why do they cost that much if you're not getting the alcohol? Because obviously alcohol's got the duty involved and things like that. So it's basically like these guys explain it quite well, that great mint taste coming through. How do you like that, Sharon? Lost my train of thought. That basically the innovation and the kind of like the work involved in trying to recreate those flavors, like the time involved in doing all that, and the teams involved, it still costs similar amounts to doing it with, like, as if it was an alcoholic product anyway. So they also do a Negroni, which is this one, and then they do a like a, what's the word, Aperol, so like a bitter kind of Campari style drink, and they've got a few others on their website, and they've got a Christmas pudding one as well, so like a nice kind of Christmassy spirit. This is the only can that they have, and I couldn't find that on their website anymore, so I'm not sure if they're doing that, if that's just a way of kind of something for the summer. You probably wouldn't want to drink these in the winter anyway. What do we think, Kath and Tanya?
Very nice and refreshing.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a nice change. I'm not always keen on things with a lot of cucumber in, but I think there's just enough to complement it, but without it being too much.
Yeah. Do you think it would replace the booze, or how do we feel about it?
No.
It depends. I think, if it's very cold over ice, and you're not, like you say, if you're driving or something, it's a nice change rather than just having cola or something that can get just a bit dull. And I think it would be nice. And if you want to zap it up, you've got that choice. If somebody wants to have something in it as well, I think that's nice.
Yeah, and if you're like me and you have a teetotal sister, it's something different that you can serve.
Yeah.
Provided she likes it. What do you reckon?
Like it, good.
I'm on to a winner then.
Good.
But the hint of mint is wonderful.
Oh, and imagine that just with as you say, on ice with the put your orange into it, your strawberries and the mint and everything, and the cucumber. Nobody
would know I wasn't drinking.
Oh, this is the thing. Sometimes you just don't really want to make a deal out of it, do you? Just want to have a nice, tasty drink as well as everyone else. Cool. Well, do you know what? I'm going to talk about this one now as well, since we're on the subject of low and no alcohol. I'd be wary of drinking this one now, guys, because although it has no alcohol in it, this Maverick Espresso Martini is caffeinated. So it's got the full caffeine effect in there. So it's probably best not to try it before bed. Yeah, but this is
20 calories. Excellent.
yeah. So this Maverick do they're low sugar, they're kind of all sort of natural ingredients. I've included one of these in a previous box. I think it was the Christmas box last year, which was one of the cocktails, and they do like a Cuban spritz, which is like a mojito type thing. They've got a like a Venetian one, which is again like the Aperol, and a few others. I can't remember. There was like a G&T as well, all no and low alcohol.
It's like a bramble or something. Or did I imagine that? Was that something else?
No, that was nuisance. Bramble, yeah, that was just that was rosemary and bramble, yeah. That was nuisance drinks actually. But it was Maverick. There was 4 different flavors, but I didn't get to try any because I ordered like 48 and then sold 48, so I didn't try. I think, which one did I tried one, I think that's all I got. But I've had this espresso martini and while I was packing the boxes, and it really, really helped. It was really, really good. I think it's really smooth. It does taste quite sweet, but obviously espresso martini that you'd have. They claim you won't notice will you notice the alcohol? My partner Jamie did, so we popped in some vodka for him. But you can either pour from the can, or I put it into my cocktail shaker with some ice, and it had like the proper, really frothy head on it, which was really gorgeous. Like I love an espresso martini, and it's just a really nice, sophisticated drink. You don't have to think about it, and I don't really know how you'd make one of these non-alcoholic, other than sort of like shaking up some sugar syrup, I guess, and coffee. But this has got the other flavors of kind of like caramelly flavors, some vanilla notes in there as well. So yeah, feedback to me on this one. The guys, the company is owned by 3 guys that kind of, they started their conversations about, hey, why have we not got, like a healthy alternative, like to no alcohol, and single serve kind of, well, not single serve, this is actually 2 serves. And yeah, they just wanted to create these, and they're doing really well. They had the 4 to start with, and now they've got this one and a porn star martini as well with the passion fruit, or passion fruit martini. I can't remember what they called it. So yeah, that was really good as well. And
Let's try that.
Yeah, definitely. I think they work out to about £3 a can. So you can buy like 4 for I think £11 or £12 online. Obviously, if you're having a party or something, you could stock up. Cool. Yeah, so that's Maverick. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm reading your message, Lisa. Text me while I'm working. Cool. So we move on. So I have a little video from Cole. I'm taking ages. I'm going to start going a bit faster. So we'll move on to Frida's peanut butter. So if you grab that, some of you, I think Martin and Jen, you might have had this at the Good Food Show. Did you have this one? Have you looked at it yet? No, it might have been the early mystery tasting. Did you have it, Kath and Tanya? So this is Frida's peanut butter, and it is their toasted coconut version. And everyone loved it in the mystery tasting. So I was like, I've got to include it in the box as well. So grab that. I'm going to share with you a little video.
Slave.
Sorry?
So I was going to say we definitely didn't have this because I'm actually afraid of peanut butter.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Why are you afraid?
Share the video.
Oh,
okay. No, don't worry. I haven't started playing it yet.
I will try. I'm going to try a bit.
Where does the fear come from?
It like since I was a child, I've really kind of just had this thing about peanut butter.
It'll be fine.
I don't like peanut butter, but it's really nice. It's got a really nice peanut crunch without being slimy and like cloyy. Yeah,
I think it's really good. I will say, like, my daughter has never really liked peanut butter. We actually thought she had a peanut allergy, but it just makes her mouth feel funny. So Do you need to move out of the room? Is the fear overwhelming?
Get teaspoon.
Oh, okay. Phew, phew, phew. I will just show you. Stop sharing. Hang on. Let's get this video back. So I'm just going to quickly introduce you to Lisa. So it's not run by a lady called Frida. Okay.
Hi. I was really hoping to be with you this evening. However, we are having van issues, and I'm probably going to be spending the evening loading the van up ready for Abergavenny Food Festival that we're going to tomorrow. Fingers crossed if we get the van back in time. Just a typical day in the world of small business. Anyway, my name's Lisa Newson, and I run Frida's Peanut Butter down here in Cornwall with my lovely husband Andrew and our tiny team of great people who help us out. And we make peanut butter in lots of different flavours using just the best ingredients that we can find. So we use Argentinian high-elate peanuts, which in our opinion are the best in the world. They roast absolutely beautifully, they smell and taste amazing, and they grind down to a lovely creaminess, so you get a lovely creamy texture of peanut butter. And then everything that we add is organic where it can be, but just the best quality. And that's what we set out to do, is put all our efforts into, you know, giving you the best quality, and that really shines through in the flavour. We like to think it does anyway. So yeah, we do 7 different flavours. My personal favourite, and Katie's too, I think, is the toasted coconut. And without fail, I pretty much have that on my porridge or overnight oats every morning. And it brings a different dimension to otherwise pretty boring oats, and it gives you the added benefit of a nice kick of protein and good fats to sort of power you through the day. It's brilliant for breakfast and on your toast too, or you can bake with it. Makes fantastic cookies. You can sandwich a cake with it, and you can even use it to make brilliant satay. You know, use it in your cooking, in a curry or anything like that. Anything savoury or Thai influence, it works really, really well. So anyway, I hope you get to try some. And sorry I can't be there, and I hope you have a fantastic evening. Bye.
Aww. There you go. That's Lisa, not Frida. So Frida is the name of the camper van that they went round New Zealand in. And I think when they were over in New Zealand, there was loads of like amazing, well, not loads, but like good nut butters. And then they came back to the UK and it was like, oh, where are we going to, you know, get our fix from? And so they started making their own. I hope you managed to stir it up a little bit before. So they mix it with a little bit of sunflower oil, I believe, and coconut oil, just to kind of give it a little bit of a thinner texture, so it's easier to like pour or spread. And then obviously the toasted coconut in there, sweetened with a little agave nectar as well, and then a little bit of Cornish sea salt to lift it. I think it's a really good one. What do we think?
That's amazing. I love
It's
that.
first peanut butter I've liked.
What about you, Jen? You okay?
Do you know what? Actually, it's not that bad. I really like the idea of the overnight oats with it in. And I really like overnight oats. I take that for breakfast sometimes in my shift. And I might try it. With that. I love the salt in it. The salt is really nice.
I like, anyone else got anything to say about this? Any converts?
It's a lot crunchier than normal peanut butter that I get. I really like that. I've just had to slam the lid on the jar because I've just been sat eating it with a spoon.
I love normal peanut butter, and I think this is amazing.
Yeah, you do like normal peanut butter, sorry.
I do, yeah. But this is great, like really great.
You should, I mean, if you're into peanut butter, they do like a sea salt and black pepper one, a fruit and spice. So I think it's like some raisins in there and some spices blended in. Which is the other one I love? Just a normal crunchy one. and smooth as well. So they do really lovely, and I think they've kind of roasted it to a really lovely level that kind of brings out the kind of the flavour of the nuts, and they're obviously really good at kind of complementing it with just the right amount of salt and things.
Davina, did the face mean that I'm picking the rest of yours up when I come home
I will
next?
be gifting it to somebody. I don't even open it. My son's got a peanut allergy.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. It's not a problem. He's in the other room, so he doesn't even know.
It's fine, Katie. I get another jar.
My brother-in-law has a really bad nut allergy as well, so I'm quite wary of allergies. So
peanuts though, so all the other nuts are fine.
Oh, good. So you're all right with the granola?
Yeah.
Good. Cool. You could put with the overnight oats. You could like top it with the granola afterwards and get that in there. Cool. I haven't done a peanut butter before. I come across lots of peanut butters, and I kind of I'm always quite wary of peanuts anyway, and allergies and things like that. But I wanted it to be a good one, and this one I really like. So yay. Cool. Glad you like it. Let me know if anyone does anything cool with it. Like, let me know. I like the idea of putting it between a cake. Obviously not sharing it with my family though. Cool. So that's the peanut butter. We're going to move on to tea in the moment. So you have 2 of these to try. So we can brew them now if you'd like, or so if you want to put the kettle on and have some. They do take sort of like 4 to 6 minutes. You've got what they are is basically cacao shells. So the cacao seed, so it isn't a fruit. It's a fruit, and then the beans are seeds. They're not actually beans, but this is the outer shell. So this is like the husk, and it's a really it's 99.5% caffeine free. I think it still has like a little bit of caffeine in there, but it's a byproduct of the chocolate industry basically, but it has loads of health benefits of the cacao. So it's got I can't remember how to pronounce it, but now we've got these jets going over. Hopefully they won't be here for too long, but we have loads of like RAF activity, and it's like this thing. I didn't know if it was going to come, but it might get loud in a minute. There's RAF jets going over. So if you read the packet as well, I really love what they're trying to do. So it's saying encouraging mindful moments, 1 cup of tea at a time. In a world of takeaways and to-goes, it's easy to miss out on life's little moments, to scroll your way through the present whilst watching someone else's past. I don't know if they've had issues with social media themselves or something. But put your phone down and listen to the sound of the water boiling, watch the water as it changes colour, feel the warmth of the cup in your hands, smell the sweet, subtle aroma, and taste the delicate dark chocolate. So that's what you should be kind of picking up. Is if you want to have a sniff for now. I don't know if you want to try it now, obviously please go ahead. Otherwise come and feedback in the group, because we don't want you to be here all night while we wait for our kettles to boil. Really lovely hot drink. So make it, what do they say, 3 teaspoons. I made some earlier. You can drink it hot or cold. Just make it in a teapot, or it's really like a lovely, like you can put milk with it if you want to as well. So the peppermint, the mint one literally just has peppermint with it, peppermint leaves, and then the chai has some lovely spices. So this is the kind of one I was thinking, like a really nice autumnal kind of, cozy up on a warm day with a nice book. It's got cassia bark. So cassia is like very similar to cinnamon, very similar flavour. Ginger root, licorice root, ginger peel, and clove. So flavours of chai.
Great.
Katie, how similar would you say this is to other? Because I've tried others in the past, and I found them pretty disgusting.
What, cacao tea?
Yeah. So how similar is this to what that?
I'll be very honest, Pim. I'm not a cacao tea drinker.
Ah,
It is quite new to me, so I don't know how it compares. But I mean, I guess what would it depend on would be where the origin, like where it's sourced from. I mean, did you just not get a lot of flavour from it, or did you?
It just wasn't very nice. It was just unpleasant to drink. Yeah, quite bitter, overly strong. Just a bit unpleasant. It smells absolutely gorgeous though.
Did you chip? Which one did you do? Did you do the chai or the mint?
This is the chai I'm smelling.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you mean you've tried other other brands?
I can't remember which ones.
Yeah.
But I tried one because I was like, this is going to be amazing, and then I tried it, and it's like, it's very much not.
She claims that it's not bitter, so you can leave it as long as you like, and it won't get bitter. So I don't know if these husks have got something removed or anything like that. It's all and it's organic as well, which might make a difference. I'm not sure. I'd be really interested to hear your feedback on it, because I mean, she says to expect to taste like what you taste like dark chocolate. I get chocolatey vibes. I don't get like overwhelming chocolate vibes. So yeah, if you want to do that in your own time and feedback would be amazing. But I
definitely got to try though. But I'm 5% apprehensive.
Yeah, might not. Might just be something that you could. Can you not drink coffee?
I don't drink coffee either. It could just be a Pim issue, so don't fear anybody.
Well, it's got a sweetness to it, like that you're not getting from any sugar. So I mean, if you're trying to reduce sugar, things like that, it's I quite enjoy it. I'm not getting any bitterness from it. I like the mint one as well. I was looking for something like, I really love it. There's this really lovely local peppermint tea, and I've been really on the peppermint teas have been on my radar, and I quite like that one. And they say as well, like once you've drained it, you can put water back on it and keep it going, so it can kind of, it could last a day as well. So yeah, 2 to try there. Hopefully you'll like them.
Well, they both smell amazing.
They do smell good. So yeah, hopefully. But if and there's I'll put the health benefits into the group, but there are, it's supposed to kind of be calming, and the kind of dopamine hit that you might get from chocolate, that you still get that with the shells as well. What else did I pick up on? Each sip is like enjoying a piece of quality dark chocolate. I don't think I can agree with that, because it's not really quite giving me what a piece of dark chocolate would do, but it's still nice. Really nice that it's sustainable as well, like kind of, making the most of the industry and the byproducts and things. Health benefits, theobromine, that's the word. Many of the same benefits of so proven to stimulate the body's natural release of feel-good endorphins and help reduce feelings of stress and anxiety. Antioxidants with higher levels of those found in goji berries, blueberries and green tea. The flavonols in cacao have been shown to reduce tiredness and improve heart and skin health. It's probably going to change our lives, guys.
Have you got any hacks if I haven't got a tea strainer?
I got a tea strainer. What would you use? Just a sieve.
Put it for yourself. Okay.
Yeah. Or I mean, it seems.
Or a handkerchief.
Sorry, handkerchief.
Handkerchief, cooked muslin.
Oh,
okay.
Idea. Or a Lizelle cloth.
I'm not sure it smells particularly appetizing.
You might need it. Which one did you go for? The chai or the?
This is the mint one.
Mint.
It's I might not have brewed it quite long enough, but
yeah, needs a little time. Cool. So that I'm going to move on, because otherwise we'll be here forever and we'll run out of time. So we're going to go on to another strange one. So arrogant chicken. So I consulted Lisa on this one because I was really struggling to decide what flavour of these to give you. Sorry, Davina, you can't have this one. Not Davina, you're not vegetarian. Sorry, Liz, you can't have this one because it is a meat product. It's a Ukrainian speciality, so it's basically like a chicken jerky. So dried, thinly sliced chicken. This is the Ukrainian recipe, which is like a garlic and dill and black pepper flavoring to it. It kind of it's divided opinion in my house, I'll be completely honest, but I have got a nice little video to share with you so you can meet the people that make it. Let me grab let's open this and see if I can hang on, let me see if I can.
Hi there, my name's Lee from Arrogant
Hang
Chicken.
on, this is
My name is Alexandra, and this is our little CEO, Emily, who joined.
Let me see if I can get this working. Hang on. There they are. There we go. Right. See that?
Hi there, my name's Lee from Arrogant Chicken.
My name is Alexandra, and this is our little CEO, Emily, who joined the family business 6 months ago.
We're coming at you from Devon today, just to show you our Ukrainian flavour.
This is a little traditional Ukrainian snack that you will be finding in your boxes this month. The goal of our business is to support the food industry back home in Ukraine by sharing with the world and with all of you guys traditional Ukrainian air-dried meat snacks. Now, the flavor you have here is garlic, black pepper, and dill. It's a classic combination. Garlic and dill goes into everything in Ukraine, from salads to fish to meat.
It genuinely is in a lot of things over there. It's a very genuine flavour. When I was there many times, we've tried lots of smoked fish, smoked meat, all with this lovely black garlic and dill flavour through it. I'm sure you're going to enjoy.
We hope you enjoy it with your favourite drink or on its own, and we look forward to your feedback. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
It's quite crispy, right? You might need to kind of like keep it in your mouth for a little while, add some moisture to kind of like get some of the flavor out of it. Are we dividing opinion? Who likes this? Yeah.
There's some serious chewing going on.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
It's what, Sharon, can you speak? Because I can't see.
Yeah, no, we've got a problem with our webcam today.
Oh, okay. But
we are on. Yeah, we thought it smelled really good when you opened the packet. Really good. But you do have to keep it in your mouth for a really long time, and then the flavors come through, don't they?
Yeah. And I mean, if you eat kind of like biltong jerky, that kind of thing, I guess you'd be used to.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's, you know, it's a chicken jerky basically. It's super lean, super healthy. So if you're into kind of like protein, like, you know, upping your protein and meaty snacks, it's quite a healthy one. I was choosing between, like, they do a Korean barbecue flavor, spicy Korean barbecue, and then this Ukrainian one. And I thought, because it's a traditional Ukrainian snack, that the actual Ukrainian flavor would be really good. I mean, I'm personally not a massive fan of dill, but I didn't really want my own kind of personal preferences to kind of rule what you might try. So I thought it'd be really nice to try this one. I think they retail at about $2.95 a pack. But yeah, and the other flavors, they do like a jerk chicken. I think there was like a teriyaki one and things like that. I forgot to look back. But yeah, I quite like these. It says there's, you know, immune supporting vitamins, B12 and B6, magnesium, biotin to keep you healthful and youthful. And I thought it was really nice to be able to support like a Ukrainian business as well, because they need all they can get at the moment. But yeah, I don't know. My dad, he's always got something to say about these things. And he was like, well, it's not crispy. And it isn't really, I don't know, depends which bit you get, but it is similar to kind of jerky, isn't it? In that it's kind of, you know, that dried meat. But there you go. A Ukrainian flavour for you. I didn't know that dill and garlic was a Ukrainian kind of thing, so learning something new there.
Katie, we've got Faye who's just come back from playing out with her friends, and she's trying it, so she's going to give some feedback. You did meet her at in Birmingham.
Yeah, what do you think, Faye?
It's really nice. It's actually really nice.
Yeah,
That's the feedback. It's just nice. Yeah. Chewy. Nice though. Chewy but nice.
Oh,
I think if you're into like you say, biltong and jerky and all that sort of stuff, which I am, this is amazing. I love this. Really good.
Good. And I guess, you know, you read all the, you know, things about, oh, the other thing is it hasn't got any nitrates, which is something that I quite keep an eye on, just because, you know, cured meats and things like that, when they have got those in, they're not great for your bowel, and so really good to see them without any kind of like sort of all natural basically as well. So good. Try they do sort of like mix.
My son's just coming because he thought I was downstairs, and he's just taken some of that one and some of the charcuterie as well.
Nice. Well, do you know what, they actually classed this as chicken charcuterie, so in the same collective. I think they're nice, and it's really nice to see the people as well, because I must say when I chose this, because I just thought it was really, really interesting, I wanted to share it, I couldn't find out anywhere what the people behind the brand look like. I think it really helps to kind of, I don't know, just connect and kind of like understand it a bit more, and maybe want to support them a bit more as well, when you kind of see that, you know, they've obviously got a lot going on in their world at the moment with little baby. And I went to a trade show on Tuesday, which is called the Speciality and Fine Food Fair, and that's where it's a trade show, so it's all new products, and they were in the startup zone there. I didn't get a chance to chat to them, but hopefully they'll get more distribution as well, like soon. So there you go, Arrogant Chicken. And now
very quickly, sorry, do you have any information on where the name comes from?
I wanted to ask them that, and I wish they'd have said it in the video, but they were really stretched on time, so I'll find out though, and I will let you know, because I thought to myself, what does that mean? I'll find out for you. I don't know. It's cool. Interesting name, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
curious.
Quite like a bit of a head turner. Cool. I'll find out some feedback. Right, so that's Arrogant Chicken, and then Bardo's, which is another intriguing one. There's a bit of a theme here, isn't there? This is Bardo's good mood food. So these little things. There's either a lift, which if you've got a lift one, you might not want it at this time of night, because I don't know how much it's going to lift you. And then there's a calm one as well. So depending on which one you've got, you might want to have it now or wait until the morning. Bardo means, does it mean good or does it mean food? But basically it's in Bosnian. So the lady that set this business up was a Bosnian refugee. So these are like fruit. One minute. Can you keep getting knocked out? So this one I've got, which is the lift, is based around goji berries, walnuts, mandarin, and then clary sage. And the idea is that, you know, there's no added sugar in there. It's high in fiber. It's kind of like a little energy boost, but it's also got herbs and fruits and seeds and things that will help with your mood. So they've got two different ones. So yeah, you look like you might have a lift one there, Kath. Seeds, pumpkin seeds, goji berries, almond butter, walnuts, mulberries, dates for sweetness as well. I think it was a really lovely business. They're actually made over in Bosnia as well. So they are the only company, I think the only Bosnian company selling on Amazon UK or something like that. But a really lovely business. The woman went to kind of like business school. She went over to America to business school and things, and I think she was a management consultant, and then decided she wanted her own business. So she's growing it with these. I think this is like a sample pack, but they do bigger packs. But yeah, what do we think? I guess you're not doing it maybe for taste. You're kind of doing it maybe for more function. Jen, what do you?
As a bonus midwife in the room, it's got clary sage in it, so you probably should eat it if you're pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Really? Because it'll bring on the pregnancy.
Well, bring on contractions.
Yeah, yes, it's not going to negative.
Oh, is that something you have near the?
Tightens the uterus.
Isn't raspberry leaf one of the things that you?
It does, yeah.
Didn't work for me. Tried loads of it, but it didn't help. Fair enough. Cool. But yeah, mood boosting energy bites.
They look like they'd maybe be a good like post workout, post run kind of thing. I might try that tomorrow. See what happens.
Have you got the lift one?
I got the lift one, yeah.
Yeah. The other one's like a relaxy kind of chill. Yeah, I guess that makes
the rest for work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Might need it.
So 100% natural, clean ingredients, preservative free, bite-sized snacks to keep you in optimum balance throughout the day, at work or home, before or after exercise, there you go, or between meals, and great for children. Energy from Whole Foods, resealable packaging, clean recipe. Yeah, but I just
Yeah.
Can you turn the camera off?
I can turn the camera off. We're going to test it on a child, so you can hear his response.
Oh yeah, let's hear.
He's had his bath, so he doesn't want you all to see him in his pajamas.
Have you got the calm one?
No lift.
Don't give him a lift before bed. You'll blame me if he's up all night.
I don't ready for the last 2 weeks those beans to bring it home.
I just remember her. Can I buy it?
You remember Katie, do you?
Remember me. Hi.
Don't turn the camera on.
It's hard because I can't see you, so I was confused then. Yeah, there we go. A little energy snack to introduce you to, that made in Bosnia. Hey, what do you think of that? Have you tried it, or have you not allowed?
Faye just had a nibble and it went back in the packet, so
yeah,
I'm guessing she wasn't a huge fan.
I think it's not really so much for like a tasting; it's more like a functional kind of.
No, not. Well, might be for kids, but our kids don't.
Great for when I'm out cycling.
Yeah.
Just because it's such a small packet as well.
Yeah. Just a little kind of energy bite. Cool. And then what have we got left? One more.
The mint tea's growing on me.
Oh, good. Cool. Good. Are you getting the cacao, the chocolatey flavour?
Yeah, it's like minty chocolatey. Yeah.
Right, so this is the last one, and I'm going to recommend we don't taste this straight from the bottle, because I did, and I thought I was going to get a blister on my lip because it's so spicy. But then my dad tried it as a marinade on chicken, and they were really worried about it, but it was actually really nice. So it probably, unless you got really good heat tolerance, I would probably like mix it with some mayo, or marinate chicken with it. It's basically a peri sauce, so Portuguese style, like a Nando's style kind of like peri. So if you're a veggie, really good for halloumi on vegetables. It's a garlic lemon kind of chili combination. So nice fresh. It's not smoky. It's kind of what else is it? Yeah, just a really nice fresh chili sauce. What else did I find out about it? So the piri piri is known as the African devil, like the type of chili. So it's it grows in Africa and Asia. And again, this is like it's first used by the Portuguese to make this like chili sauce. And obviously Nando's has got those Portuguese roots. I didn't bring my charger down, and my laptop's going to go in a minute, so I'm going to wrap up really quickly. Yeah, put it with nachos, tacos, mix it with creme fraiche, fried chicken, fish cakes, gluten-free, good for vegans, vegetarians. It's made by Cureights. So the lady that set up Cureights is called Monica Chia, and she was this amazing kind of she's from Singapore, and she does all these amazing sauces. They do like a pad thai sauce as well, which I really like the sound of because I can't really perfect pad thai at home. But yeah, did anyone dare try it or not? No, you have. Do you like it?
This is our vibe.
Yeah.
We're sauce kind of people. It's good.
Yay. Good. And yeah, they have got some amazing sauces as well. Like you don't see them many places, but good. Glad you like that. Let us know what else you make with it. So us guys that can't take it too hot can tone it down a bit maybe. Ruth, you tried it?
No, sorry. Post-menopause or post-chemo, it's just...
I literally thought you were like, too hot. Yeah, that's cool. Right. I don't want to cut out and not say goodbye. So I hope you've enjoyed those goodies. I don't know. I've been looking at some of them for so long that I've been a bit like, oh God, I hope they're going to be nice. But I think it's a reasonably good mix. Hopefully, lots to play with as well. Again, like the Facebook group is there, so if you've got something that's like stuck in the cupboard from this box or any other box, go in there and just say, look, I don't know what to do with this, and we hopefully can all help, or I will help. I'll get I'll put all the links to the producers into that group as well, so if you want to like follow any links and things like that, I'll see if anyone wants to offer any special offers or anything like that for sort of first orders and things as well. But yeah, I'm not going to ask for favourites and things. I'm going to say goodbye. The next box is the festive box, which I can't believe. We've kind of gone full circle around again. So if you've got anything that you'd really like to see in there, message me and let me know. But I'm really looking forward to putting that one together. I've already seen some nice things. And if you've got anyone you think would want one, or if you want to buy any for gifts, let me know as soon as possible, because I'm kind of trying to get my head around numbers, because I did quite a few last year, and I might actually do them in 2 stages as well. Like I might do one the first week of December and then one a bit closer to Christmas as well. But I haven't decided yet. But I don't think I can do them all in one go anymore, because it kind of takes over I don't think my postman would let me either. He'd be like, no, I can't do it. It was not very happy with me on Monday when he came to collect them all. It was supposed to be his day off as well, so yeah, but I'm glad. I better wrap up, but thank you very much, and catch me in the Facebook group, and thank you very much again for everyone who supported me on this, because I love sharing these finds and supporting these producers as well, and couldn't do it without you guys, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was epic. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining, anyone, and thanks, Kim, for making it.
This was the first time that I had the box and could actually make this evening. So
Yay.
well done.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to see your face.
Yeah, give my love to Jamie.
I will. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks ever so much.